Hello and welcome again to another exciting episode of Candid Conversations with me, Rev Erma. Our guest today our first guest is Andrew Duffield. That name sounds foreign, and so you're going to have to hear a whole lot more about that. But we will be discussing another exciting opportunity that happens around the world and also happens in Barbados. It's water polo on Barbados, believe it or not. It is so good to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
Andrew, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, water polo. What are you doing in Barbados with this water polo? How did it happen? What is it all about?
So I guess it likely started 2007 and 2009. I was here in Barbados coaching the national water polo program. I returned home to Canada. I've been coaching my own club there now ever since then. And it came about, 2015, I started bringing groups here for 1 or 2 weeks to train with the Barbados team and also just experience being here because a chance to get out of the weather in Canada. And it came around this year when the COVID situation hit and training became hard in Canada. We made a decision to try to do an extended trip here. So we signed up for 2 months and we had 11 athletes that agreed to join us. And so here we are.
Okay, so water polo team is 11 athletes. A team is 11?
It is anywhere from 10. The maximum you can have is 13 on a roster. We left it open this time that any athletes in our club that wanted to come, we could take up to about 15 to 20. As it happens, there was 11 that were willing to come, and they are doing school online back in Canada right now. So it was a heavy load, so we knew we wouldn't have a lot of sign up, but we were pleasantly surprised to get 11 kids that wanted to come down here.
Okay, so you have 11 kids that you brought down?
Yes.
And they're actually here in Barbados?
They're here in Barbados, staying in a guest house with us. There's 11 teenagers, myself, and one other staff member, learning to exist together.
Awesome. As you were talking, you said that we have a team here.
We
Barbados
do.
has water polo team.
Absolutely, yeah. They've had a bit of a resurgence actually the last little while. A man named Ryan Ford is heading up the program and has done an excellent job getting youth at the aquatic center and really fulfilling it. And they've had some very good results.
Okay. So what is this water polo? I know about the polo on the horses. So what is the water polo?
Yeah, and it's a confusing name for lots of people. So we are in the water, but the horses are not anywhere near us. But it has looked a lot like a football game in the water, but we are playing with our hands. So some people say there's basketball strategy in a football game in the water. It's definitely a unique sport. You almost have to see it to sort of experience it because it is contact. So people are on top of one another in the water, and it is an interesting watch the first time for sure.
It sounds so to me. So you say, so it's only played in the pool, aquatic center?
Yeah.
Can I play?
We play at the aquatic center primarily for official games would be played there. I always take the opportunity here with the resource that is here with the sea. We train at Carlisle Bay almost, actually a little bit more this time than we do at the aquatic center.
Carlisle Bay, that's on Bay Street?
Yeah,
that area?
Yeah, we are right by Pebbles Beach, out in front of the Barbados Cruising Club most
So
evenings.
how does that work?
So,
how far do you go out? I'm afraid of this ocean. You can tell by the questions that I'm asking. Yes, how does that work?
So we head out as deep as it takes us to not be able to touch the bottom. So we are out.
You have to be standing.
Yes, we cannot be anywhere near the bottom. So if you can touch the bottom, it is not deep enough. So we go out. We have some inflatable nets that we anchor down to the bottom with some moorings, and you are playing in deep water until the game is done. So it is a resource with Carlisle Bay that we don't have in Canada. It is absolutely amazing to have nice flat water because if it was really wavy like the East Coast, there is no way we could do it.
Wow, awesome. That really sounds like lots of fun. So you're from Canada?
Yes.
And we have our facilities here, the beach in particular, that you love to take advantage of. So, but how was the transition from Canada to Barbados? What spurred it for you?
Yeah, and I think for me, this is sort of my second home. I come here so often now that
it's his second home. Go ahead.
It feels normal to me. So it is a very quick adjustment for me, but I find every group that comes down has different adjustments they have to make. And this time with teenagers is an adjustment to the weather, the temperature, the environment. And then once they're used to that, in 2 or 3 days, they are good to go. They are young and they just sort of figure things out on the fly, and it is, you know, learning the differences of just the minor differences in culture from Canada to here. And once they've picked up on that, the people are so friendly and inviting that they just take to it right away, and it's an easy adjustment for them actually.
Okay, so what would you say that they long for once they're here?
So likely the biggest thing I would say that I am getting in the last week or so from the athletes is they're looking for some of the food that they would buy at home that they would not necessarily find here, or if they do find it here, it is much more expensive. So they've been told not to purchase it by their parents until they get home. So it is little things like that that are unique to Canada, I think. Is the same, I guess, if you would travel from anywhere in the world, you miss those little things that you can only find where you are from.
Okay.
But yeah, they quickly find substitutes for that here.
Right, because once you're in another culture, you just try to adapt. When you're in Rome, you do as Romans do, huh?
That is the best way to be.
Okay. So you said you started in 2007.
Yep.
And then you've been here every year since then?
There was a break there from 2010 to about 2015. I did not make it down here one time, and ever since I promised myself that it will be every year since that it's not going to happen again. And I am working with a few partners here to try to set up maybe some more long-term ventures where it is a little easier to do twice a year with different groups, and maybe work a little more with the aquatic center and things like that here.
Okay. So how long would a match last when we're doing the water polo? How does that work?
Yeah, so it takes about 45 minutes to an hour.
45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And we're splashing and trying to get goals.
Yeah, the whole time. So it is 4 quarters. They're 8 minutes long, and they've broken down. So the clock is stopping on every whistle and restarting. So by the time it restarts and everything, it takes about an hour or just under an hour. So.
Awesome. So this is really a thing here in Barbados?
Absolutely. It is, like I said, they had a real good turnout. Barbados has hosted the CISC Championships for the Caribbean Islands the last couple of years. They are scheduled to host Carifta in the spring, provided the conditions allow us to host events at that time, which is a contact sport. So the way the world is now, we don't know, but hopefully the track Barbados is on. That event will happen again in April at the Aquatic Center. Okay,
so water polo is a game that happens at Carifta?
Yes. Yep.
Oh wow, I am ancient. But of course, once you are in these conversations with Rev Erma, you will not only be ancient, you will get to be modern as well. Because I'm learning a whole lot, and I will probably be watching. So how often do they do tournaments in Canada?
So in Canada, we have a season that runs from typically January to May. We participate in about 5 tournaments a year. And the schedule here, the main international competition where they are playing at Carifta and CISC and CAC is run through the summertime for the most part.
And it runs through the summertime for the most part. Okay. Is there age? I know there are teenagers that you have now, but you know, as athletes, is there an age? Is there a cutoff point when you would have had enough? Or?
You know, it is funny. Water polo for years, people started playing in their teens. It was often competitive swimmers that had grown tired of competitive swimming or sort of hit their ceiling, and they said, you know, we'll try something different, and they have this swimming skills, so they come and play water polo.
Oh, so that's where the spin-off came from.
That is right.
You have to be a professional swimmer, so to speak.
Yes, and it was actually, the Aquatic Center here has a huge history with water polo. It was actually water polo players that were the initiators in building the Aquatic Center here, I believe. And there are pictures up in the Aquatic Center of water polo being played in the 1940s and 50s in Carlisle Bay. with stands built right into the bay, watching and playing the game there.
Seriously?
So there's a huge history that I was unaware of until I moved here and saw it and was...
Well, Barbados, I hope that you have all of this history and that you know a whole lot than I do. But certainly in our conversations, those of you who do not know, you will certainly have the opportunity to go and explore. There's so much that's happening in Barbados at the Aquatic Center in terms of swimming. There's so much activity, so many things to get involved in. So, where, other than the Aquatic Center and Carlisle Bay, where would I see water polo being played?
So the big markets in the world are Eastern Europe. Is very big in the former Yugoslavia, whether it's Serbia, Montenegro, Croatia, Hungary. You get off the airport at some of these places and there's big water polo banners, and first coming from country in Canada and Barbados where you have to explain the sport to people. It is
so I'm not the only one?
No, not at all.
Oh,
that is,
thank God.
The vast majority of the people do not know.
The vast majority
Yeah.
of, so on a regular day, somebody walks up to you and says, so what do you do here in Barbados? What would your conversation be like?
So we will usually take the time, usually when we run into those people, we are down by Carlisle Bay with the balls and getting in. So actually what I find there is we often run into people that played water polo. The police force used to have a team here, and so we'll run into retired officers that will come and talk to us and say, right down there, they will explain to us and tell us the history of where water polo was played and how it was there, and the crowds they used to get to come out to watch the games. So this is actually unique and is one of the places, and the city that I live in Canada has a rich history going back to the 30s of water polo. So it is those two places I don't explain as often, and it is usually once we go out into Pebbles or out by Pebbles and start playing the game, we will have people swim out and ask what is happening and ask to throw the ball around with us and just to try it out or ask how we are doing, what we are doing. So
that is so great news to hear. So what would be the coming events that will be happening engaging water polo?
So for the next little while,
tournament or something like that.
We are hoping to get cleared by protocols to play a game with Barbados before we leave at the end of November. That being said, that will likely be down by Pebbles, just because it's the open air and we can clear safety-wise a little bit better there to play. And then after that, the next event here will be Carifta Water Polo, and then the following that...
And what for the Carifta will be?
It will be at the Aquatic Center, I believe is the first weekend of April.
2021?
Yes.
Next year.
That is the hope.
That's the hope.
Yeah,
that's the hope.
Again, we have our fingers crossed, and the association here runs a memorial tournament for Darren Eastman every year, and so we're very hopeful that will run again sometime in June. And I'm still talking with Ryan about what his plans are for that event as far as what age groups and things like that. But in the past, he's had teams from Italy and Texas and Florida and New York, so it's a nice event to come to.
So you've heard it first on Candid Conversations. There's a tournament coming up, and hopefully once all the protocols are allowed so that we can have the contact, Aquatic Center would be the place to be. And if that doesn't happen, then we look forward to Carifta 2021. There's so much that we can do in the environment in which we find ourselves. Andrew, it's such a great opportunity to be talking with you and chatting with you on this, what seems to be a very exciting and fun living game.
I very much appreciate the opportunity to come and share and let people know that water polo is happening here in Barbados, and that is hopefully we can get more youth into the sport that way too.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
There we go. See you soon again. Don't move from your seat.
People, while I'm here and you see the children that may be studying at home alone, it's on all the way to look out for them. So parents and guardians, if for any reason you have to leave home, remind your children to don't let nobody in the house, especially when no one else is at home. Nobody at all. And neighbors, you all in this too, look out for.
I love making friends out on the reef where I work. There are no dirty pipes, and the water and reef here are clean and healthy. But the reef where I live is not as healthy as it used to be. The runoff from those pipes is killing the coral and the sea life. I wish my reef was clean and healthy again.
There are lots of things we can do to make Terry's dream come true.
Let's do our part to keep the coastlines clean, safe, fun, and climate resilient. To protect our coast, the Coastal Zone Management Unit did some studies to make Barbados better at managing its coastal and marine resources while including disaster risk management and climate change adaptation. My coast, my home, my future. To find out more about how you can help, follow the Coastal Zone Management Unit on social media or visit www.coastal.gov.bb.
Hey, I'm Smarty, and I have some tips on how you can save energy. Old refrigerators use 5 times more electricity than new ones, and if they leak, they can be dangerous. Consider replacing all the appliances in your home with energy-efficient appliances. It's getting late, and we know it's easy to fall asleep watching TV or with the lights on, but these habits waste energy. Set the timer on your TV in case you fall asleep, and turn off the lights close to bedtime. Be smart about energy. Be an energy champion.
And we're back. I am sure you are wondering what next is going to be on Candid Conversations. And we certainly will not disappoint you. You can see my lovely bed. But of course, I'm going to give you the correct name. But here to tell us and discuss more about this bed is Danica Haynes. And she is with, I'm going to say with, Cindy Blanc, the spa. She's going to explain all of that. I just said a with to pique your excitement and your curiosity. So, welcome to Candid Conversations with me, Rev Erma.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. So, tell us about this bed.
Well, it's a massage bed.
It's a massage bed.
Yes. Clients usually get on top of the bed and under the top sheet when they're ready to be rejuvenated.
Rejuvenated.
Yes.
So give us some insight into what this rejuvenation is about and the Cindy Blanc, the spa.
Okay, so Cindy Blanc, the spa is actually the name. It is French for a white swan. It was given to me, I like to say, through inspiration from God, because I was looking for a name for a long time, because my first name I started out with was Exquisite Touch the Spa. But then, like, I started seeing a lot of Exquisite Touch, this with nails, and like everybody had Exquisite Touch. So I wanted to rebrand, and I didn't want to do it of myself. I wanted something unique. So I prayed about it and I waited. And then after doing a poem that was inspired by my friend, she sent me a picture of a swan and told me to write. So I just wrote. And then the nighttime I heard within my spirit, white swan.
Wow.
So I got up and I said, well, white swan, that's good. But I like languages. So I said, well, let me see which language sounds good as white swan. So I went on Google and I looked it up in Spanish, French, you name it. But I really, really loved how it sounded on Google when I, pressed the sound button in French, and that is Cindy Blanc. So that's how the name originated. And the spa is a mobile spa designed to cater to your needs, which means I come to you. Yeah, it's not a set location as yet because I'm now starting, so I'm starting off as a mobile spa.
Awesome.
Yes.
In this age, everything comes just to press the button. Yes,
True.
everything comes.
You don't have to leave home anymore. We can bring that relaxation to you and that spa experience to you now.
Yes, because I'm thinking if I want to get a massage, I live all the way in St. Lucie, and then you may be located in St. George.
Yes.
So then I get all stressed up to come down to drive to get my massage, and then I get all stressed to get back in the car to go back. So it's where's my massage? So yeah, the mobile massage is a good thing. Awesome,
Yes.
awesome.
Definitely.
That is great. So how important though is it? Because do we just do it for style because we can afford to have it, or you know? Why
I
do
like
we-
to say massage is health and wellness. You know, back in the day, people see it as something that women only, you know, we're going to the spa just to get a massage. It's a women's thing. But I like to tell both male and female it's a health thing, because we all need a massage. It helps, you know, regulate your blood. It helps to calm you if you're somebody that is stressful, like have a lot of stress, anxiety. It helps with that. Chronic back pains, after a while, it helps, you know, with different various treatments. It also helps with that as well. So I like to say massage is very beneficial to the human. Yes.
Okay.
Both male and
female. It's not just for the ladies.
No, it's not just for us.
Right,
No.
when we want some downtime.
No.
It is a healthy choice
Yes, it is.
that we make
Very-
so that we can thaw out, as it were.
Yes.
Rejuvenate, to use your
Yes.
word. I like that word.
Yes.
And I like how you say you waited, you prayed about it and you waited and it came into your spirit. And so massage is all about getting the body, mind, soul intact.
Yes. Yes. It's
know?
all about connection and bringing you from that busy lifestyle to a more calm and settled nature.
Yeah, but if we don't, there's a number of persons who don't do strenuous work. Yeah. So do we still need a massage?
Of course you do.
Okay.
Because your work may not be strenuous. You might just be sitting down at a desk or anything like that. But in the process of you sitting at the desk, your shoulders, it all depends on how you're sitting. You can get tension in your shoulders. You may start to get pain in your lower back. So therefore, you still need a massage.
Okay.
Yes.
Listen. Listen. All of us need massages.
Yes,
From
we
time to
do.
time.
Yes, we do.
How often would you say?
I always recommend to the client, it's entirely up to them and their budget. But I like to do, if I start someone now, I would recommend it to come back within 5 to 7 days. Because what happens is you go in, especially if it's a first timer, you go in and you massage and you break down those tension knots and everything. If you take too long to come back for your follow-up treatment, what the body does, it will go back to how it once was. So whenever you decide to come back for another massage, then the process will have to start all over again. Yes. But if you cannot afford to do that, then I recommend that they go according to their budget.
Okay. So if you start someone, you recommend they come back a week later?
Yes. And then after that, they can do 2 weeks after that, and then 3 weeks after that.
Okay. I see what you're saying. So enough talk about this massage, how it's massage time for me. and this, I must confess, this is not the first time I'm having a massage. A massage, yes. But whenever I go, they always tell me to relax. So what's that about? How do you relax for a massage? And why would I relax? I think you would make me relax, but they keep saying, relax. What?
Yes, our job is to relax you, but some clients come in and they're really, really tense. I'm not sure if they don't, some people have this thing with people touching them and stuff, so I'm not sure if that's why they're tense.
They're uncomfortable.
Right, at first. So in order for us to do the massage, you yourself have to relax. Now for me, I like to, before I start, I would ask the client to take 3 deep cleansing breaths. And then you taking these cleansing breaths, your mind and your entire body should just relax on the last breath. When I make that contact, then I would feel, if you're still tense, then I would just rock the body a little bit. And in me rocking the body, your mind is gonna say, okay, I'm tense, I need to relax. And we feel when you relax. If you don't relax, you're blocking us from actually getting into the massage. So that's why we encourage you to just breathe and relax.
Okay, so we're gonna try this. You think we can try this?
Sure.
So is there a particular way to get on?
Yes.
Yeah. So just crawl up on the bed or something?
Oh, no. I want you to lie face down.
Face down.
You're gonna lie face down. You're placing your face into the face cradle.
Okay.
And I want you to just come under here for me. I know you have on clothes, but this is procedure.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. So I sit here.
Take your time. Glasses. You're gonna lie on your tummy. Face into the face cradle. And I want your hands back at your side.
Hands back to my side.
Yes. And face in the face cradle.
Face in the face cradle.
Is the face cradle okay for you?
Yes, that's fine. And my eyes are closed.
All right, so to add some comfort, what we usually do is place a bolster under your foot. Down, is that comfortable?
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm being pampered. Oh my good gracious.
It would have been much better if your shirt was off.
Don't worry, I'll make an appointment.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Danica?
Yes.
Is that something that I'm smelling?
Yes, you are.
What is that aroma?
I'll tell you about it now.
Oh.
So remember I said in the beginning,
Uh-huh.
before we start the experience, I always let the guest take 3 deep breaths in and out. Okay. And the aroma that you're smelling is rosemary essential oil.
That is so good. So, Danica, I did those 3 breaths.
Yes.
Do I seem to be relaxed?
Well, I will see now. So I'm just gonna do some light compressions. Gonna feel you out. Yeah. So you're not tense and your body is moving with me.
Awesome.
And I can also feel that you do need a massage
Oh,
because your shoulders do feel tight. And I am feeling some muscle knots here.
mm-hmm.
And I also like to do rocking in the beginning and like at the ending as well. To me, rocking is very soothing.
Very.
I like to feel it, so I like to give it to the guests as well.
And I do feel like a baby. Being
Yes,
pampered,
right. Yes.
I wish all of you could have this experience, but it is not far from you. All you have to do is connect with Danica
Yes.
at the White Swan Cineblaw. When I get up from here, she's gonna tell you exactly how to connect with her. And we could do this all day. Is that at all possible?
Yes. But I wish you can enjoy it more, but you know what to do.
Oh no, it is finished.
Yes, that was just a little touch because you're all clothed. Okay, so it's time to get up. I will assist you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's bring your feet over on this side. Yes. And your shoes are over there.
Danica, that was just so fabulous. That was awesome. I just feel so special. I haven't had one of those for a long time, and she says that I need to get a massage. And that's because I'm awestruck. COVID has done it. But I'll make sure that happens. So in order for that to happen, I know you said that you are mobile. but how can we get in touch with you if we need lovely services? I mean, and that rosemary oil,
Yes, rosemary oil.
you made it or you bought it?
No, I bought it. It's essential oil, pure essential oil.
It was just,
Yes.
yes, I can, yes.
So that also helps to calm the guests down to smelling the aromas at the beginning while taking the breaths will also give them a sense of calmness.
Child, that was so divine. Thank you so much. So tell
You're
us,
welcome.
how exactly can we connect with you?
Well, my page is on Instagram. You can find it at Cindy Blount the Spa. And on there you will see the contact information. You can call 840-8774, or you can also email us at cindyblountthespa@gmail.com.
Danica, I'm gonna get your card. You have cards as well, okay?
Not here. with
Not
me
here.
right now.
But we'll connect because that's easy. I truly enjoyed my forte of what is to come. And I just want all of you to know that you would not regret it. So thank you so much, Danica, for
You're
coming to
welcome.
share with us, telling us the importance of massage. It does not matter if you do manual labor or you just sit in your office. We all need to
Yes.
have wellness
Yes,
as
yes.
our focal point.
That's correct.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Another occasion with Candid Conversations. A whole lot more. Take care.
My name is Smarty. Let me show you how to save energy. Don't leave your devices plugged in all day. That can be bad for some devices and it wastes energy. Here's a better way. When possible, always unplug your chargers and devices. That's an easy way to save you money on energy. Whoa, it's freezing in here. Don't leave the air conditioner on in an empty office. Turn off the AC when it's not needed. Be smart about energy. Be an energy champion.
Children, answer the call and let me do this one like a basketball and bounce back, bounce back. School open up and we going back. Bounce back, bounce back. Make sure your school books in the hammer sack. Bounce back, bounce back. Positive attitude must be intact. Bounce back, bounce back. Be vigilant and be on track. Yes, enjoy your learning when you go back to class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, do your math. Any test the teacher give you, work hard and pass. Full marks every time, smile and laugh. Respecting your teachers, that's the right path. Make your parents proud, that's the next half. Returning to school, happiness, full blast. Protocol still on the broadcast, so make sure that you sanitize and put on your mask. And bounce back, bounce back. School open up and we going back. Bounce back, bounce back.
Hi, Spinning here again. You guys know the time when one teacher leaves and you guys are waiting for the next teacher to come and start the next class? Get up, open please. Come, we can do a little exercise. Come, twist with me, come, twist. We're going to get more advanced now, come. Bring it down, keep twisting, and twist. Beautiful, job well done. Now sit and wait on the teacher.
And we're back on Candid Conversations. This is going to be a very educational and still light-hearted session because I'm going to be interviewing a young and upcoming journalist. He's not upcoming, he's already in. But his name is Kobe Brooms, and we're going to hear from him right now. Welcome, young man. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me here. It feels good to be on the other side of the interview.
Imagine that. Yes, I am interviewing you. Yes, and your journey to journalism. how did you get started?
Well, funny enough, I got started making some parody journalism videos on Facebook. A friend of mine, we were always interested in the field, and he was going off to study. I was doing computer studies, and we just decided before he did it, let's try this out and see how this goes. And it was quite successful in that sense. And once that got going, I started to research it some more. And then I switched my major from computer studies to journalism right after that. And since then, I got an internship, and that's where I've gone from there.
And it's history.
Yeah, history.
So you said a parody. You were doing a parody?
Yeah.
Explain for me and the rest of us. What is a parody?
So we actually started. So like that would be like modern day TikTok. So it would be an impersonation of what real news was supposed to be like. But we did it on a light-hearted topic, like things that were like stirring up on Facebook, or we did one about the release of results for CXC. So just different little things that would have stirred some conversation among our peer group at the time. So that's what would be the parody for that.
Okay, awesome. So would you, when I think of journalism, I see you going to interview. I see you with a notepad writing down these notes and all these questions. You do a lot of writing and all of that.
Well, I started that way when I did my internship, because I did my internship at Barbados today, where I'm currently at now. And I did all the different elements. So I did print, television, and multimedia. So I'm actually in the multimedia section now. But for most of the part, yeah, we still have that writing down. But there's the whole field of journalism has evolved in such a sense that it's not only just that print element that you have there now.
Okay, because when I think journalism as well, I think boring.
Yeah.
So how is it? Has it been fun? Is it?
Yes, it is extremely fun for me. What I do, what I'm doing now is that I'm trying to make news not boring for people in my peer group. So it would be finding different ways to present a serious topic and break it down so that everybody understands. So I have this saying from one of my tutors, so that Miss Bradford on the Pike Corner bus can understand it.
Okay.
Right? so it's about taking serious issues and breaking it down so that everybody can understand, or so that you're just not reading a lot, because a lot of people sometimes don't like to read, but they would listen to a video or they would listen to a package. So it's about packaging different serious items to make sure that it gets out there.
Okay, that's very, very good, because you are trying to capture the audience.
Definitely.
And in your age range,
yes.
make sure it is not boring and dull, it's all exciting, so they want to listen to the news. Because I'm sure as parents, we want to have our children come sit down, listen to the news, but I guess it depends on which station you're on, huh? All right. So what would you consider your most memorable moment in journalism thus far?
Most memorable moment in journalism thus far? I would say it would have to be when I was doing I would say 2 moments. I'll give you 2 moments.
2 moments. I love it.
On my first week for internship, very first week, green as it can be, I had to go to a crime scene where there was, not a crime scene, sorry, a fatal accident.
Wow.
And when I got to the fatal accident, sometimes areas aren't cordoned off as yet. And I actually saw the person on the ground and some parts. So that was a little traumatic in that sense.
Did you run?
No, I didn't run. But no, I guess I'm hardened from that experience now, because I don't flinch after that. But that, I can say, green as I can be interning, that was one of the most memorable moments. And then outside of that, we had a call come in about some residents who were experiencing some problems with mosquitoes and rodents and those types of things. Did the story, and in 2 tools, they were able to get relief, and they called and they were just grateful and thankful. So that was a memorable experience for me, because even in terms of going beyond writing stories, it's almost like you can have an impact on people by highlighting issues. Okay. So that was memorable.
Have an impact help to assist.
Definitely.
Okay, so there's really, you're not just reporting, giving news.
Yeah, it's almost everything, you know, because when you're in journalism, you're almost supposed to be, you can be a social, almost in a sense, a social worker, a lawyer, a businessman, because you got to interpret, because as I tell you, like, making things matter for people, so they, you know, when the central bank reports come out and so on, you got to break that down so that everybody can understand.
Even listen. Do you listen? I shouldn't say that. Yes, tell me.
So making sure to impact people where they are, yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How would you, what would you say we need to do to improve journalism in Barbados, or do you think we need to improve our journalism?
There's always room for improvement in journalism.
Yes.
One of the things that you know, there's always a call for more investigative journalism, and
in meaning do facts.
Yeah, well, not do facts, but when people think investigative journalism, they think uncovering corruption and those different types of things. But for right now, for that to happen, there needs to be some legislative changes. So things like the proclamation of the Freedom of Information Act. Also, like, we have some very strict defamation rules and so on. We saw that come into effect even on shows like Brass Stats and the debate that we had, where you have to be very mindful of what you put out there. But general access to information and
so you would want some of those laws relaxed,
well,
or softened,
in terms of like the freedom of information, because it was debated, but it was never proclaimed. So I can't go to a government agency and say I would like access, well, with the exception of the court, I want access to these documents so that I can say I'm doing a report on this. So it's almost like information, like if you want to do something like that, you have to get that fall off the back of a truck.
Oh my good gracious.
So it's almost like being able to go and report on those things. There needs to be a certain level of protection or a certain level of access given so that we're able to do those things, and overall improvement as well in areas of just moving past print, but also exploring the digital space some more. Definitely.
Exploring the digital space some more. So what would happen if the digital space was explored?
Well, I think the COVID-19 pandemic gave us a greater look into how technology in general, but even more so in the media, because you saw that a lot more people were engaged online subscriptions and those kind of things rose tremendously. So it's not about not just reading it on the paper, but when you read it, when you have a story, you can have words, but you can also have some video incorporated in there. You can also have some audio incorporated in there. Shows like this, where instead of you just sitting down doing a feature with me and putting it on a page, on a paper, nobody's going to get the interaction or the personality, but bringing those things to life.
Okay. The digital platform will make sure we have avenues like that.
Definitely, because, you know, as you were alluding to earlier, young people necessarily don't like to read newspapers. So it's all about getting them engaged where they are. So for instance, what I do now at my workplace, I sit down and I study the trends for what people are engaged to, what people are demanding more of. So you find that though they may not physically read the newspaper, they're still engaged into certain elements of stories. So you have to make sure that the little bits and pieces that you put out there are so impactful that they want to read more, or that the videos that you put out there capture all the elements of the story so that they're still well informed.
Okay, now church has to come into our conversation.
Of course.
So how would you report on a church service, or how would you do that in terms of journalism if you were trying to capture an audience, and a youthful audience? What would you say?
Well,
or how would that happen?
I guess that goes a little bit more from journalism into more like public relations.
Okay.
So there are two different elements of that. But if you were looking to report on a church service, it would depend on the nature of the church service, and but from if you're looking to capture young people from a public relations, you have to, as I said, meet them where they are. So things like this, and having conversations that they can see interacting with them on the social space, on social media, creating campaigns that, things that people like to do now are like challenges. So you get 5 people and you do, or recite this thing, or say how much you enjoy church, or you know, those different types of challenges and so on. Those are the things that get young people engaged. So sometimes it goes, when I say being new, you have to sometimes move away from the traditional aspect to get people where they are.
Right, because right now with the COVID, as we all know, a lot of services are being streamed online and so on and so forth. So I wonder if that streaming captures young people, and as a journalist, if that is something that you would constantly recommend.
Well, like for instance, what we did at our church for our young people, we had them on Zoom, but we incorporated a game called Cahoots. So what we did was, and for the people that were online as well, you had to sign into this portal, and through the course of the program, you were able to answer questions, and you got points based on how fast you could answer and so on. So even if they're just listening, they have to, that means then that through that use of being creative with that platform, they had to still be engaged as well. And we got good responses from that. So to keep young people engaged from a journalism perspective, from a church perspective in general, I find it calls for a greater level of creativity. A great level of creativity.
So with all this creativity, what is next for you?
What's
next on your agenda?
Well, what's next on my agenda? I am trying to push the media house I'm currently at, and then for me, I'm hoping to at some point in time go regional with broadcasting, because that's essentially where I want to go to, being a regional broadcaster, and maybe, you never know, you may see me at CNN or BBC.
Oh, awesome! Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah,
yes, that is great. So what are some of the things you're going to do or doing to get on that track?
Well, at this point is building and maintaining relationships. So outside of journalism, I am a youth advocate as well. I serve as the first vice president of Barbados Youth Development Council, and forming some relationships with some other young people across the Caribbean. So from those relationships, I was able to represent Barbados on a show in the Bahamas as a journalist reporting on the COVID-19 situation. So when I say building and maintaining relationships, so being able to stretch your arms regionally and build contacts in other territories, so that when that time comes, you just make that transition and you're known in the regional space. Yeah.
In the field. So journalism is wide.
Very wide.
And your particular love in journalism is?
Multimedia.
So
I'm not a reader in a sense. So the print, I can write, but that is not my my love. Okay. I like to tell stories in a different way. So telling stories through visuals and audio. So that incorporates the social media. So being creative in how you present in terms of graphics, things that will catch people's eye, and then short clips on the videos and so on that grabs people's attention and brings them in, so that they continue to take stock of a serious matter, or to be informed, because at the end of the day, that is our role and responsibility, to keep the public informed.
To keep the public informed, to educate. And
yes.
Make it all exciting.
Definitely.
And even when you have sad news to bring, it still is a little hope. It still is positive.
Definitely.
Corby, it is such a joy just sharing with this youthful figure up and coming.
Yes.
But I am sure that you will be extremely successful. So I look forward, all of us, the entire audience, we look forward to see you continue to rise.
Well, I hope so, by the grace of God.
Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.